One of the best things I've done in the past year or so is I started viewing the world through a class lens. And this is something that Lenin recommends we all do as a part of the proletariat. So, viewing the world through a class lens may take a little bit of experience to get used to, but once you get a hold of it, it's really easy. So, let me give you a few examples and a little bit of an explanation on how to possibly start viewing the world through a class lens. So, what I usually do is I always ask what material benefits are going to be brought up by an occurrence and who is going to benefit from the aforementioned occurrence. Because the class lens requires a question of power to be examined, once we start asking these two simple questions, we may really change the way we view certain phenomena. So, for example, people who have material wealth and who help others, this is something that often is portrayed in the liberal circles as acts of benevolence, and this is often promoted as the ultimate goal of any individual. Reach material wealth, and then he'll be able to help others. See how these individuals, having reached that material wealth, are doing so well for their fellow humans. If you start asking the questions, who is benefiting in the, let's say, acts of charity, you usually see that it's not the people who are told to be the aim of the charity. It's usually the rich themselves. And how, you might ask? Well, simply, first of all, they gain reputation, and that influences their social status because they're seen as generous and benevolent and good. Now, and the second way they may benefit is that oftentimes acts of charity give you all kinds of tax benefits. They give you ways to manipulate your financial reports. I'm not very well aware of how that works, but I think you generally get the gist. So these two reasons may show that when rich people or wealthy people are appearing to be charitable, usually it's them who's benefiting. And then a natural question arises also, who are they to decide how the benefits and material possessions are to be distributed? Because by being this person in charge of the charity or being the person who is giving, they now become a figure in power. So they can control people's actions, they can control certain outcomes, so they become the ones who decide how the material riches are distributed. And who are they to decide for other people? Are they smarter than everyone else? Are they somehow morally superior? I doubt that. And placing such responsibility on single individuals is unfair, not only to the people who they are serving, but to them as well. No one should be solely responsible for the distribution of wealth among the populace. We, the populace, have to all have a say, and we all should be able to greatly influence how the material possessions are distributed, whatever those possessions may be. Now, and another helpful way to use the class lens may be in examining the aims and goals of organizations. So, in the previous example I just gave, it focuses on an individual, but in a setting where there is an organization present that may be also making charitable decisions for someone else, again, asking the questions, who is going to benefit and how, are going to be helpful in understanding the true intentions behind certain acts. And oftentimes, when you look at the activity of the charity organizations, you see that they have an agenda, and not in any sinister way. Very simply, they are promoting a worldview that is going to further their case, be it a religious cause, be it on imperialist lands or a white lands. You know what I'm talking about. So those kind of charities are probably all known to you, and it's pretty clear who such acts of charity may benefit. upon the first glance, on the superficial level, they may be helpful to the people who might be in need, but overall, it is not up to individuals or certain groups of individuals to decide. And this is what class lands very quickly teaches you to do. I think, except for Lenin, Thomas Sankara, I think that's his name, is a helpful example. And I'm going to put a little article about some of the historical events that took place in his homeland and how he and his comrades dealt with those problems. So this example, together with some of the Lenin's suggestions, I think can be very helpful in developing a class lens. So let me know if you have any examples on how to utilize a class lens, and share how you personally use the class lens in your day-to-day life.